Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
Woo! Well, wasn't that thrilling? Wasn't that exciting? The Edmonton Oilers get a massive win on the road, knocking off the New York Islanders 2-1 in Belmont. And who else but Leon? Come on. Come on. Who else but Leon Draisaitl gets the Oilers their first win of this Eastern road trip, a much needed win to put them a point ahead of the LA Kings and help them keep the number 2 spot in the Pacific Division. Leon Draisaitl now at 49 goals on this season, and come on. How are we not declaring Leon the MVP after what he's done this season? After how he delivers once again when the chips are on the line, Leon Tim Draisaitl comes through in the clutch. And also, speaking of in the clutch, you know what else is clutch? Hyperdrive hockey. Shift into Hyperdrive and get ready to have some fun with your new source for all the biggest stories in hockey. Bringing a unique style of broadcasting and commentary with a Quebecois flair. Hyperdrive Hockey combines top-tier hockey analysis, big stories, pop culture, and a fun atmosphere that'll drive debate, make you think, and so much more. Join Max Van Hoot, Daphne Malbeuf, and Kevin Lime every Monday and Thursday for your fill of the hockey world. Watch on YouTube on the Game Over Network channel, or subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or Amazon, and make sure you hit our website, thegameovernetwork.com, for so much more. Yes. Edmonton's first win of the road trip, and it was one in which Edmonton needed the big guns step up. They did do that. Draisaitl got things going, and you look at how he's been able to take over games this season. It has been spectacular, especially when guys like, certain times, Bush, McDavid, Hopkins might have struggled. Leon Draisaitl has been ever so consistent for the Oilers offensively, and he's leading the race once again for the Rocket Richard. He's in the race for the scoring title. And I look at what he's done. If Edmonton didn't have Draisaitl on this roster, or if Leon had to miss time, I mean, yes, you have Connor McDavid still. He is still on this roster. But if you didn't have both of these guys, things might have been a little bit tougher for this franchise. Of course, if you want to tap in, we got some comments and questions. If you want to let your voice be heard on Game Over Edmonton, please hop up and in our comment section on YouTube with your comments, your takes. Maybe they're hot, maybe they're not, but either way, we want to hear what you got to say after the Oilers' victory on the road. The second game of the 2-game series against the Islanders, where it goes overtime. Both games go to OT. OT, not much love when we go OT. If you're an Islanders fan, that was the case. But for the Oilers, no. There was plenty of love. These two teams just love playing 4 periods of hockey for whatever reason. They found a way to go to the overtime session in both games this year. And like I mentioned here on Overtime, we will break down your comments, questions, because I'm sure people have things they want to get off their chest. I know we had comments last game after Edmonton's loss to the Devils. The big thing was what was going on with the offense. And again, this wasn't a game. It wasn't an offensive battle. It was another low-scoring game. Once again, Edmonton, yes, we mentioned on the last show how Edmonton failed to score more than 2 or 3 goals, but this time they got the win. But it's really, it's good to see them winning a low-scoring game, but you know this team has so much more offense to provide and can provide on this team. This team should be finding ways to get 4 or 5 goals more consistently, and it just hasn't been the case post Four Nations face-off, which we keep beating that hammer down. We keep beating that dead horse down and over again. But it's a thing in which you shouldn't be seeing Edmonton's offense stymied this often, no matter who you're playing against. That shouldn't be a thing. That shouldn't be the case. But you know what? It is what it is. So now Edmonton heads off to, they stay in the state of New York, but they head off now to New York City, or the bigger part of New York City, sorry. If your New Yorker is listening, probably going, man, this guy's messing up. But either way, in New York still, playing the other team in the New York City region. There, the Rangers on Sunday evening to end this road trip. And then they come back home to Edmonton to play Utah Hockey Club on Tuesday night. And also in this game, Leon Draisaitl has now a 17-game point streak. 17 game in a row, he's got a point. He is red hot offensively for the Oilers, staying consistent. And it was a game in which also, too, Ilya Sorokin, I got to give Ilya Sorokin credit. Sorokin had a big game, made some huge saves for the Islanders when called upon in all three periods. And Calvin Pickard, too. Calvin Pickard held his ground in a massive win in which goaltending, again, we wanted goaltending to be sharp. Pickard was sharp in net tonight. Got to give him full credit with that. And Edmonton's chances, 35 shots on net. Ilya Sorokin, just a brick wall for the Islanders. He's going to be a key cog if this Islanders team can find a way to play late April hockey. He's going to be a big factor for the Islanders if they do want to have a run this postseason. So, excuse me, a great game for him. And I mentioned the points. Connor McDavid now with 61 helpers on the year. Just an absolute machine. And in that game, in this game, we saw the game-winning goal. The Leon Draisaitl goal on the breakaway. What a sequence. Set up first by a first-grade pass from Calvin Pickard to McDavid. And McDavid finds Draisaitl, springs him for the breakaway. That entire sequence to set up the game-winning goal. All three guys deserved their praise and displayed their awareness on that instance. That is what you want to see more of from this team. Magnifique. Magnifique all the way. Great, great sequence. And also, too, I do have to address that in this game, the special teams it was a really weird thing when you talk about the special teams for the Oilers, where the penalty kill actually didn't look bad. The penalty kill was 3 for 3, but the power play, once again, just was having trouble. 0 for 2 at the man advantage. And I know I harped on him before, but Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, again, just hasn't been there. Just hasn't been bringing enough. Just has struggled really bad. So I'm wondering what Kris Knoblauch does to try and sort out the power play, because right now it's truly out of sorts. It is not in sync. It's not generating the shots you want. It's not generating the chances, when over the past couple of years, the big thing for the Oilers was how dynamic the power play was. And lately, that power play has just looked like a bunch of, yikes. Not good, Chuck. Not good at all. But you know what's always fun? You know what's always great, and the people like Patreon. Patreon is always fun for the children, for you, and for me. So, with that being said, do you want to help support an upstart media company employing over 30 young journalists and analysts across Canada? If you got a few bucks to spare, hey, please head to our Patreon page at patreon.com/the Game Over Network. And there you'll find multiple tiers featuring different rewards and goodies for helping us grow. There's extra access, exclusive look behind the scenes of what we're doing, Discord benefits, merchandise discounts, opportunities to give us feedback, and so much more. And you can join us for special shows live. We can talk to us on air as we launch more ways to improve your experience. And you know what? We know sometimes times are tough, and if you don't have a few bucks to spare, don't worry, we got you. there's a free tier available to make sure that you can hop in and make sure you don't miss out on what's going down. And if you really want to help us out, make sure to click like and subscribe on YouTube, rate us 5 stars on your favorite podcast platform, and share our work on your favorite social media platform of choice. So that's patreon.com/the Game Over Network for some tantalizing goodies. And we know everybody enjoys a goodie or two. Second period time on Game Over Edmonton. And I talked about the offense, talked about the chances, but man, I feel bad for Connor Brown because Connor Brown had a few great looks in this game. Connor Brown had a few great chances and one late to get Edmonton his lead, point blank range, and couldn't put it in. And Connor Brown's game, I mean, yes, it's better than last year. He's putting home chances. We're seeing him be a better option than last year among the forward core. And he got time today playing in Edmonton's top 6. But man, he was snake bitten with those chances. But one thing I do like is that about Connor Brown is he is staying aggressive. He's not giving up. But at the same time, you want to see him be rewarded for those chances. And it's tough to see him not putting those away when he's doing those chances. It's clear that Kris Knoblauch, again, with the lines, wants to see something different, wants to try new combinations, wants to try making something happen here. But seeing Connor Brown just, again, struggle. I mean, he had 1 assist. I'll give him that. He had an assist tonight, but scoring-wise, putting a puck in the back of the net, it's been a struggle for guys like Connor Brown, and also, too, at times, guys like Adam Henrique. Of course, we know Matisse Janmark has struggled, so more production from all around is definitely a big thing this team still needs to an extent. And looking at the scores here on time on ice, and I know we keep talking about him, we keep mentioning it because the deployment is just odd. Tonight, Jeff Skinner played 4th line minutes, only 11:45 playing with guys like Kasperi Kapanen. And at what point does Jeff Skinner get that run consistently in the top 6? Because I've said it before and I'll say it again. Skill plays well with skill on a consistent basis. And we have not seen that from Kris Knoblauch. We have not seen that trust in Jeff Skinner, which you got to let him cook. Let him cook for more than a game or two inside that top 6 forward core. I think that really has to happen in a major way. And maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you think I'm talking silly, but that's how I feel about the deployment, where you got to let the skill guys come up for a few more games than just 1 or 2. I think that really has to happen. So let me know how you feel, please. And of course, like always, we'll also get to post-game content here. We'll see who's talking tonight after the room. I'm sure it's far more happier locker room than the past couple of games here, where you saw the sentiment wasn't as upbeat. So I'm sure post-game, the content will be far happier than what's been over the past couple of weeks here. Past couple of days, because it's been tough. It's been tough to see this team trying to search for some answers and not getting them. So yes, actually, we can jump into that right now. We got post-game content. We have Kris Knoblauch, Leon Draisaitl, and Calvin Pickard. So why don't we start off with Leon Draisaitl, the man of the hour, Mr. Hopefully MVP. So let's play some Leon Draisaitl audio and video. Oh, 1 second, gang. We need to actually get that content up. There we go. All right. Leon Draisaitl on the way in a second.
Leon, as soon as you score that... Leon, as soon as you score that goal, your quick 2-point down the ice to Calvin Pickard. Can you just tell us what was behind that?
Well, I mean, his effort, his performance, and his pass. He started the whole play. It's great hockey sense. Goes unnoticed by a lot of people probably, but that's elite hockey sense right there. So yeah, he was obviously amazing all night.
How much did he give you guys a chance to win tonight?
Yeah, like I said, he was great. He gives us a chance every single time he's in net. So you can't ask for more than that. We love playing for him. I think that's very obvious, and just a bit of our heart and soul guy.
Not a bad way to get to 100, especially the meaning how meaningful that goal was and give you guys the win, eh?
Yeah, it's nice. It's individual, I guess, milestone, but the 2 points are much bigger than any other personal records.
And that's just, sorry, I was just going to say, and that's just it. I mean, how much can a win like this in that type of manner really propel you guys?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, we've been struggling, and we've been struggling to score. We've been struggling to defend hard and put points in the bank. And I thought for the most part tonight we were really good.
You felt like you guys created a lot offensively. The goals obviously didn't go in as much as you wanted with the frequency that you want, but did you see some signs there?
Yeah, I think we created a lot more. I agree. That sometimes, obviously right now it's not falling, it's not going in, but sometimes you need a game like that just to grind one out and get going.
Last one more time. I mean, four times in a row now at 100 points and 6 times in your career. What does that kind of, I guess, say to the type of teammates and the type of run that you've had as an Oiler here?
Yeah, I mean, I love being an Oiler. It means the world to me, and obviously having teammates that understand the way I am and understand me as a person, and sometimes obviously not easy, but I love these guys, and without them, none of this is possible. So these are all nice efforts and accomplishments for your personal self, but none of this ever works without your teammates.
I know you don't get a goal in the first period, but just how important was that start, especially after last night?
Yeah, we were really good in the first. Their goalie made some really good saves, and I think it kind of kick-started our night a little bit.
Considering the 17 shots in the first, just how do you evaluate the 60-minute effort tonight?
Yeah, all around really good. Great road game, especially on a back-to-back. I think towards the end you could tell that our legs, disappeared a little bit, but sometimes you got to find ways to grind these out as well. So it was good. Yeah.
A couple of different winners tonight in Brown and Perry. You moved around a little bit too, but what was it like playing with those guys?
Yeah, it was great. I love playing with both of them. I thought we created a lot of looks. It was really good.
You're leading the NHL in goals, obviously too early for the Hart conversation, but has the season felt like you've kicked into a different gear?
Yeah, it felt good all year. Some years it works better than others. That's just the way it is sometimes. And obviously this year it's gone my way so far. So looking to continue that, continue to work at it, and just keep getting better.
All right. Yeah, and Draisaitl after the victory, and again, you see how much his team has shown. They love their goaltenders, they love Calvin Pickard, and they love Stuart Skinner, so the power of friendship is back. And we'll also jump right now to, speaking of the man himself, Calvin Pickard audio coming at you.
Calvin, Leon just referred to you as the heart and soul of this team. Maybe just your initial thoughts on that sentiment.
Huge compliment from a superstar. You guys see him on the ice every single night, but he's a better guy, he's a better friend. Means a lot coming from him.
You get an assist on that overtime goal. Did you kind of see that play happening? Did you see the way that they could, chase down the ice?
Yeah, I saw the guy kind of hanging around in the high slot there. Those pucks usually squirt out somehow, so I tried to get up and be a little bit assertive, and it kind of squirted closer to me. So, and then I saw both Leo and Connor go. So Connor kind of intercepted it and then just sent it to Leo. It was great.
When he was asked about his milestone that he's reached now, he was very quick to compliment his teammates and how close you guys all are and how much that wouldn't be able to happen without all of you. Is that a sentiment to, obviously, yes, how close this group is, but also what you can pull yourselves out of?
Yeah, we've been through a lot. I've only been here since the start of last year, but there's obviously always a ton of adversity, so we're no strangers to it. We've been putting together some pretty good efforts. We just haven't been able to score, and running into some hot goalies, and we did that again tonight. It almost took 65 minutes to score 2 goals. So credit to our team. We defended really well. We played the right way, and we got the reward we deserved.
Okay. Calvin Pickard, and I saw a comment. I saw a stat earlier from, I believe, Jason Greger first from Sports 1440 pointed out that the Oilers are now, 27-1-1 when allowing 2 goals or less in a game. That's a wild stat, 27-1-1. So if you want to take out, if you consider overtime loss just a normal loss, that is 27-2 in games this year when you allow 2 goals or less. That is a scary thing to see, and that happens when you get solid performance defensively and a strong from both your D-men and your goaltender. So that's what you get. That's what you're rewarded when you see stuff like that. That is amazing to hear, and that's a great stat. And again, you mentioned the heart and soul thing. That team has a huge soft spot for Calvin Pickard on this roster, and also for Stuart Skinner. So a big night, and we got to see now, can Stuart Skinner respond against the Rangers, because you got a game right there against a hungry Rangers team that's battling back and trying to keep their window open as a team that can make a run in the Eastern Conference. So once again, there's no easy games here in this road trip, no matter who it is. The New York, New Jersey region is a strong test for the Oilers down the stretch here with less than 20 games to go in the season. And you know what else is fun? You know what else is fun to consume, to check out, to take in? Well, let me tell y'all, folks. What is it? Social media. You want to tap into our socials because, hey, if you're enjoying the show so far, you want some more of this, right? Well, make sure you hit the like button on this video, click subscribe on our channel, and make sure you head to the make sure you click notification bell so you're alerted to when we go live next. And if you're tapped into the podcast, please give us a 5-star rating or even write a positive review. And if you really love us, make sure to follow us on your favorite social media platforms. You can find Game Over on Blue Sky at the GameOverNetwork.com, on TikTok and Twitter at Game Over NHL, on Instagram, Threads, and LinkedIn at Game Over Network. And you can find me, Avry, on Twitter at AVRY, on Instagram at Avry Sports, and also launched a Ko-fi page, or a Ko-fi page, K-O-F-I page, for Avry Lewis-McDougall and Avry Sports Show. So you can also find us at the GameOverNetwork.com, where you can sign up for our upcoming newsletter, where we're going to keep you posted on what's next for the channel and what's next for all of Game Over Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Winnipeg, Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa. So you want to stay tuned. Third period time here on Game Over Edmonton on a Friday night. It's Friday night. What did Montel Jordan say? This is how we do it. And hey, make sure you're staying safe, you're having fun. The party's here on the west side. Well, not really. But either way, we're trying to have a good old time tonight. A cold night out in Edmonton. Oh my gosh, it's minus 11. I'm not enjoying it. We're in fake spring right now in Edmonton. We're in that period of time where the spring, it's here, not really. You get those 2 or 3 days where it's kind of cool, and then here comes one more dash of snow. Poof! Before real spring begins. That's Edmonton for you. That's Edmonton weather. But hey, at least the Oilers win found a way to keep some people warm tonight. At least the win kept some of the masses warm. And we talk about what Connor and Leon have done. And you heard it there in the post-game scrums. Leon Draisaitl, one other year where he's on pace. He has a 40-goal year, on pace for another year of 100 points. And this consistency has been a blessing for the Oilers since McDavid and Draisaitl entered the league. And you talk about the Rocky Richard race where Leon is now leading. If he gets Rocky Richard this year again, he will be in a class. He'll be in some rarefied air when it comes to European NHLers. If he gets the Rocky Richard trophy this year for most goals in the NHL. Guys like Ilya Kovalchuk, Timo Solani have won the Rocky Richard, Pavel Bure, Milan Hayduk. There are some heavy hitters. Ovi's won it many times. I know Connor won the Rocky Richard in 22-23. So yeah, it'll be Leon's first Rocky Richard if he does win it this year, which he most certainly will. And so the past the past 3 years, the Rocky Richard winner will be an Oiler, because Connor in 23 and now Leon probably doing it as a sandwich in. It's funny how the Rocky Richard since 2020 has either gone to Austin Matthews or an Oiler. Since 2021, it's been no deviation. The Rocky Richard has either lived in Toronto or in Edmonton. It's kind of funny. That's a very, very funny thing. And yeah, Leon, he's probably gonna hit 60. I think. I'm gonna say right now, Leon's probably tapping out at goals 62, 63. I'll say 63. I'll give him that. Maybe more. Maybe Leon. Could you imagine if Leon finds a way to get more than what Connor did and have a more than 64 goal campaign? I would love that. But I do think realistically, Leon's goal total taps out at about 63 goals. If he hits more, that would be great. That would be great. But, I mean, let me know what you think. Do you think Leon gets more than 60 goals this year? I mean, he has the potential to do it. He's the kind of player where he could, again, like Connor, just go supernova and say, yep, I'm getting 65 or 67 goals this year. You don't know. He could do it. He is quite capable of making that happen. So, we will definitely see. It's funny how, remember, years and years ago, when this trophy came back in the late 90s, I didn't think we'd ever see an Oiler be in the race for this ever. Because until Connor and Leon came, this team was without a high-volume scorer for decades. They didn't have the kind of guy in this roster before these two came who could be that consistent 40, 50, even 60 goal guy. That wasn't a part of what the Oilers had on their roster until these two arrived. So it's cool to see these guys in the debate and in the discussion for the Rocky Richard year in, year out. I think that's really, really cool to see. And you know what's cool too? You know what's super cool? You know what's mega cool? You know what's cooler than cool? Game Over merchandise. That's right. Oh, once again, the camera's a little bit off. My bad. But yes, Game Over merchandise. What better way to rep something that you love than by wearing it as merchandise? What better way? Game Over's clothing line has dropped. Yes, it has. And we have 3 unique designs. Whether you want to feel the nostalgic pull of our retro scare design, want to make a statement with our established design, want to wear your love for goalies proudly with our live and die by the goalie design, or if you just need another coffee, tea, and a toque to get you through the winter, we got you covered. Designed by Brady Chalice from Game Over Winnipeg. Use the QR code on stream now and take a look through our apparel store and help us rebuild local sports media in Canada while repping your community. All right. You know what time it is. It's overtime. Your questions, your comments, let them fire away. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you have in store for us. But actually, before we get to overtime, we're going to quickly head to Kris Knoblauch's comments. So let's get to Knoblauch's here for 1 second. And then we'll jump into the overtime questions. We'll pull up Kris right now. There we go.
What did you think? What did you think of, your goaltender and the guy who got the second assist on the game-winning overtime goal?
Yeah, Picks played really well, made some really nice saves. Obviously, not much action in the first period, which can make it really tough for a goalie. Sometimes they get out of it, but we needed him in the second with some big saves, and same with the third, and then obviously in the overtime. And what better way to highlight it with an assist on the game-winning goal?
Seems like for years you've been asked about Connor and that's kind of changing a little bit with Leon. He gets to 100 in the fashion that he did. What do you think? What's kind of the next thing about Leon?
I've seen just Leon just take control of his game. Like, he's always been a good player. He's always been dominant. Like, every night, one of the best forwards, every single night, that's a star player. I think, for me, I saw him just step it up even more, which is very surprising just because when you're that good, it's tough to take any more steps. But, when Connor was hurt or the suspension, but more just at the beginning of the year, Connor got hurt in Columbus, and then, he had to be the guy. We're missing Connor. I'm not sure exactly what he did for points at that time, but he really elevated his game, which we needed him to. We're missing the best player, and he really hasn't taken any games off. Maybe 2 off games since, I don't know what it was, that November 15th, so that's pretty impressive.
Seems like you move him around with a lot of different wingers. You got 2 different wingers tonight. Does that also kind of speak to how dominant he's been? Because he's doing it with a lot of different wingers that haven't produced quite as much as maybe you'd hoped.
Oh, absolutely. And there's, some secondary assists or primary assists, taken away. But, you look at other lines who, star players and who they got to play with. And, I don't want to take anything away from the players that he's playing with. Like certainly tonight, I thought Brown and Perry had very strong games. But, when he's not playing with guys who are making Olympic teams or all-stars. But, it's a credit to him, obviously.
With the season winding down, Leon's name is being thrown around for the Hart Trophy. Just what's your take on that?
Absolutely. I can't see why he wouldn't be. He's been doing it all, not only a Hart Trophy, but Selke Trophy, the defensive plays that he makes every single night. You look in the first period, the back check, he stripped the player with a puck and they go counter. I believe he set up Perry for create a scoring chance in the slot. He's been making those plays all season. And, obviously you look at the goals for and against, mostly the points, the goals that he's getting, the primary assists that he's setting up. You often overlook the defensive plays he's making, but every single night he's making plays like that.
Maybe aside from the tying goal, what did you think of your team's collective defensive effort tonight?
I thought it was pretty good. You're never going to play a perfect game. You're always going to give up some chances, and you need your goalie to make some saves. And, for Picks, I thought he played really well. A couple times we got puck at the blue line and didn't get it in. Obviously, that's what happened on the game-tying goal. But that's, good hockey teams play good defensive hockey. And, tonight I thought was much better than what we've had played.
Chris, last night, Brett Kulak was really quick to say that we won't be pointing any fingers when it comes to the frustration that they were feeling. Tonight, Leon Draisaitl is very quick to, commend his teammates for the fact that he's able to reach this milestone. How much does that mentality help this group, especially when maybe you're going through a rough patch?
Those guys, there's a lot of them who've been together for such a long period of time. And anytime somebody meets a milestone, whether it's a certain amount of games played, points, assists, consecutive 100-point season, whatever it is, team, and whether it's a scoring title or their first NHL points, it's nice to see that our guys get very excited when those guys have those highlights of individuals' careers.
All right, there's head coach Kris Knoblauch after Oilers win, and Knoblauch's right. This is a very my bad. It's a very, very close Oilers team. You can tell this team cares about each other, and a lot of excitement again for the play that sprung. The Draisaitl goal, you saw the celebration post-game after Draisaitl beat Ilya Sorokin to give Edmonton their first win of this road trip. So the morale, you can tell post-game, very, very, very high. Anyways, back to the comments, back to what y'all have been talking about online. And I see we did have a comment here. All right, we got one here. Let's do. We pull it up here. Oh, I had it for a second. And yes, from Eric Friesen. great fellow Oiler podcaster, part of the Heavy Hockey Network, host of the 99 Forever pod. Eric asked me at Eric J. Friesen on Twitter, do you think we'll see Matt Savoie up with the Oilers again this season? Possibly. I do think we'll see Matt Savoie up as a guy who you bring in late in the season as extra body for the playoffs, probably a guy who might check in when need be if there's an injury or a guy you need to make a change in the postseason lineup. He's definitely someone who I would recall. I think he might be one of maybe a handful of guys from Bakersfield you bring in to be extra bodies. You know, you want to get some more youth in the lineup. And why not? We've seen Savoie have a great run again in Bakersfield. 49 games played, 41 points, 16 goals, 25 helpers. You need that youth in your roster come playoff time. So yeah, why not give him an extended look, as a bigger bit of, sink or swim. I know only 1 point in 4 games, but he did generate chances, got by the net, was aggressive by the net, didn't look out of place in the NHL level. So I definitely think we see Savoie get a call up here, and he's on the roster at some point and playing, I think probably some point in time in, say, an Edmonton LA series, or if they do go deeper and deeper, need somebody to check in a spot duty game. So yeah, I think Matt Savoie definitely gets his time back again with the big club going into the postseason. All right. And with that being said, that's going to be it for Game Over Edmonton. I'm out. Enjoy your evening. Make sure you tap in to Game Over again on Sunday night, Edmonton, New York. The Oilers at the Mecca, the Big Apple, Madison Square Garden in New York. Anyways, make sure you like, subscribe, comment to Game Over Edmonton and all of our Game Over channels from coast to coast like jelly on toast. We're out of here. Later.